proud members of the Podbelly Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Hello, Mary.
Hello!
How are you?
Hi!
I'm glad our energies are matching up for this episode.
Welcome to episode 61! No, two.
Who did 60?
You did. I did.
No. What?
I did.
So this is 62.
Yeah.
All right. We did it. That's
This is
you're Kim.
I'm Kim.
I'm Ketrin.
You're Ketrin.
Yeah. And this is Kim and Ket Stay Alive.
Maybe.
We're a horror movie comedy podcast.
And we talk about horror movies and we tell the in-depth tale, spoilers and all, and then try to stay alive.
Yeah.
Through our own podcast.
Yeah. Which is we have a lot of maniacal laughter while we do it. Which is
we do.
Some people are not a fan of our maniacal laughter.
But they are big fans of Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, big fans of Chris Hardwick. We got a review where someone was mad that I bashed Chris Hardwick.
Actually, when they wrote that, I had no idea what they were talking about. I was like, I don't even recall talking about Chris Hardwick besides the fact that he was in the movie.
Yeah, I think at one point I was he good? Just because I was like, he's not an I don't.
You don't think of him as an actor?
I think at one point I was like, I'm not very happy with Chris Hardwick right now. But I was like, that's hardly bashing him. I wasn't like, fuck that guy. Let's bury him alive and piss on his grave.
Clearly that person hasn't listened to our podcast and heard us bash some motherfuckers.
I know, right? Because I'm like, is this Chris Hardwick? Is that who reviewed it? But then also, he's not a fan of our maniacal laughter. So, ooh, that was a good one. Anyway,
hi.
Hey, how's it going, boo?
It's okay.
So, just to warn you, we have to take a shot of whiskey. Are you gonna be okay?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I almost just knocked it off my table, so we're off to a good start.
What is going on?
I just feel a little off today for whatever reason.
Because it's a Tuesday. Gina holes out.
Tits up.
Careful.
Don't make me laugh. That's gonna be what chokes me, you cunt.
Sorry.
I did it.
Nice job.
Success.
Round of applause for Bernsey. Ooh.
I did it. It went down my esophagus. And only that one.
Good job. Great work.
Thank you.
To your esophagus.
I wanted to chat about. You know what I wanted to chat about?
What, boo?
Oh, fuck him. I'm gonna cry on the podcast again.
Oh my God. What are you crying about? I don't
This
even
is a
know
good
what we're crying
cry.
about. Okay.
I want to
cry
chat
too.
about. You will.
Okay.
How happy this podcast and the community that it's brought us into our lives has made me.
I agree.
We went to Son of Monster Palooza a little while back.
Oh my God.
And had the best time.
It was so much fucking fun.
It was like one of my favorite things we've been to.
And you know me, like I was in it to win it.
Stayed the whole fucking day.
Fucking time.
We were there till like 2 a.m. basically.
Yeah.
Like we were
like
there.
I was just like, holy shit. Like I'm having it. Because normally, you guys, I'm like, goodbye,
Yeah,
tapping
she's
out.
like, I gotta
see
go.
ya, bye.
Yeah, you did stay the whole time. Like late night.
Yeah.
No, it was just so wonderful. Like the event was great, and all, but like because we've been doing this a year and going to like all the things, we've slowly gotten closer and closer with people over time. So it's like we saw some people we knew that I would now consider our friends,
like real life friends.
Yeah,
not just like podcast friends, like real friends.
And then it's like we meet people they know, and then we introduce them to other people we know, and they all become friends. Like two of them, like one texted me like from Fantastic Fest afterwards being like, so and so there who like was our friend from before, like all these things. And then just meeting other new people.
Yeah.
Like it was just like such a great day.
It was a great day. There was a really sweet baby there. Miguel, I love your baby.
Shout out to
She's
Miguel
so
and your
cute.
baby. I loved your baby.
I loved
wanted to
hanging
steal
out
it.
with
Auntie Kim in full effect.
Right. I loved hanging out with our friends from Fangoria and our friends from Epic. I love that we called
Dread Central.
Dread Central.
Like John and Christine. Like just everyone's so amazing.
No, I love that we called Dave Lawson from Rustic Films, and he showed up, got everyone wasted, and then left.
No, he just randomly texted me to be like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "Straight drinking with horror people in Burbank. Come over." And he's like, "See you in a minute,
Dave. We can always
here's
count
a bunch
you.
of drinks.
Yep, he's literally
Bye." He's like the drink fairy.
Yeah, the drink fairy. Oh, Dave,
Little Dave.
my little drink fairy.
But I just feel like, I don't know, like that day in particular, I like left feeling like so happy.
Me too.
And the next day I felt so happy, and it was just like, you know, I was still kind of in healing times, and I was just like, I just had like such a wonderful day, and it's such a wonderful community, and like it's just brought so much joy to my life.
I agree.
And I feel really, 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 really grateful
Me too.
to this podcast and to everyone that we've met. I
And
just
to
wanna say
you,
thank
because
you.
like I also like you. Can you imagine like if you sucked? Like everyone else is
I
super
can't.
cool, but like we like did like sucked.
Can't imagine if I sucked.
Yeah, you can imagine if I sucked. I can imagine if I sucked too.
No, I was saying I wouldn't want to be around myself.
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was great. Son of Monsterpalooza is super fun too. They hold it at the Marriott in Burbank, so there's like a pretty sweet outdoor bar
bars.
situation happening.
We spent a lot of time there.
It's pretty legit.
Yeah.
As opposed to like other horror conventions that are like at a place where there's not, you know, there's not like a full bar set up there. So like you kind of have to like wait in line and
like
do
a
all this
tent
stuff.
somewhere random.
Yeah. But this was prime drinking. And I will say, your Bloody Marys, Son of Monsterpalooza Marriott bar, were fucking delicious.
As were your Aperol spritzes, which I've now convinced other people to start ordering. Because
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the text I received from Fantastic Fest.
Oh, that he
John Condit was like, "All right, you win.
an Aperol spritz.
I'm fucking blowing you out, shouting you out, John Condit. He drinks Aperol spritzes now, everyone."
Dude, he also drinks pumpkin spice lattes and White Claws. Like,
White Claw too. We're winning him over.
yeah, he like is living his best basic bitch life,
bitch life.
and I love him for it.
Speaking
I really
of John
do.
Condit, he recently posted something that was on the same note where it was like he was blocked from like the fucking Instagram's a fucking piece of garbage these
Yeah.
days. We've been blocked from so many things. They keep thinking we're a bot. Like I don't know what the fuck's going
Yeah.
on.
So
we
I'm
like
sorry-
couldn't post for a week and we couldn't
Yeah.
comment on things. We like it's like I
we
can't
should probably
comment
say
on our own
that
shit.
if you're having a weirdness with our Instagram page,
Yeah,
like
or
if you ever
it
go to it and
disappears
it isn't
magically.
there, just give it a second.
Yeah, it's
We-
fucking
Instagram
annoying.
is being
But
a jerk to
anyway,
us.
he posted a picture of like how Dread Central was like blocked from posting the hashtag horror.
You're what?
And
you're
he-
joking me.
Yeah, and the reason is because they think people searching the hashtag horror is somehow like them trying to hurt themselves in some way, shape, or form, or something like that. And John's like, that's fucking insulting to me, and it's a reminder of like my entire life that people have been judging me for the things that I like and saying that like that I'm some bad dark person or something. And he's like, especially when half the shit on like that thing is that hashtag is just like autumn leaves and whatever, like you know what I mean. And he's like, there's just so many worse things, or that like people who are looking to hurt themselves are like searching hashtag horror. And like, I don't know, like it really, like I was already thinking this after Son of Monsterpalooza, but I was like, I can't even like express like the joy and gratitude I have from like being involved in the horror community like a lot more in depthly over the past year.
Yeah.
Like it has like changed my life for the better in a really, really wonderful way. And I feel so fucking grateful. And I don't know. Everyone should just be fucking loud and proud with like your love for horror, and fuck everyone else, because it's an amazing community and it's like been nothing but like the sweetest, most like generous, loving like people that are like fun and funny and just, I don't know.
And just if I could come in from like, not that the people that we're talking to, this is like preaching to the choir, but the thing that I came to realize about myself and what I have now realized about the horror community is people, 9 times out of 10, the people that are interested in horror are interested in it from a perspective of like processing their own feelings, their own fear, their own sort of, you know, views on the world and things like that, you're able to make comments on the world and situations through horror in a different way than you can with other genres. And I love other genres for sure. But to say that anyone who likes horror is somehow like a horrific person just doesn't make any sense to me. And
it doesn't make any sense.
It's like the people that are really into true crime.
Right.
People aren't into murder. They're not into killing people. They're into what that evokes in them that allows them to process something in a way that like the everyday world doesn't allow them to process.
Right.
You know, even for us, like our entire podcast is about how would we stay alive? That comes from a place of like wanting to save ourselves, wanting to save our loved ones, wanting to feel prepared, wanting to, fight good and evil. Like all of those things are like what horror brings out in me. I mean, and I'm assuming you as well. So I'm really glad that you said that. Again, the people listening to us already know that, but
yeah, it's true. And I just want to say I love all our Sammys, and I'm really, really grateful for you. And you've just brought a lot of joy to my life.
Yeah, me too. And Burns, you're fine.
Yeah, you're pretty great.
Yeah, cool.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
I love you.
I love you. So Son of Monsterpalooza was great. You guys should check it out next year. Do we have anything else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Happy October.
Yes.
My favorite month, the best month.
Yes.
Do you have a movie that I can hear about?
A movie.
I'd love to hear about it.
Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
It is called Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
My boyfriend is in that. Please go ahead and thrill me.
Thrill me.
Thrill me. I only know that because our friend Mackenzie Parker was like, if you like Tom Atkins, check this one out. Okay, I can't wait.
Well, I thought that I hadn't seen this. Turns out I have.
Oh.
And I just didn't recall it in my brain as being one of the Halloweens.
Well, how could you not recall it as being one of the
Well, you'll see.
Oh, okay.
I think I put it as a different franchise.
Oh. What is happening?
I know, it's weird.
Okay.
So,
okay.
It's from 1982.
There's one major thing that makes it
I know, right?
Halloween franchise. Okay, keep going.
So, it is written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who did
Who dat?
It, the 1990 It.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sup, bud?
But still produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill.
Oh, okay.
These. So, Dead or Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Daniel Chalice. Thrill me.
Oh, he's alive for show.
Ellie.
But girl?
Yes.
Little girl?
No. Woman.
Alive. I don't know. I just feel
Female woman.
I just feel like someone who's going by Ellie, like I'm like, maybe she would, when she turned 18, I'm Eleanor now. No?
No.
We'll move on.
No. No. Actually, I feel like the opposite, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Connell Cochran.
His name
Catherine's face.
Connell Cochran?
His name is Connell Cochran.
Okay. He's dead, probably.
Connell Cochran.
The reason I said the thing about Ellie is because I found out that when my dad first got his like first job, he tried to go by Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And because he wanted to like seem like a grown up.
Yes.
And then he like forgot to respond to Bill. Like people were like, hey, Bill. And he like didn't respond. So he was like, it's Skip.
Skip.
Yeah. But that's why I was like, when people try to like
That's
have the
funny.
more grown up name. Yeah.
Marge.
Dead.
Linda Chalice.
The wife? Alive.
The Kupfer family.
All dead. Every single one.
All generations. Murdered. All right. We start with some credits.
As you do often in movies.
But it was a long list of credits.
Sure.
Just credits.
Oh.
Pretty long time.
Was there the Halloween music?
There was some tense music. It wasn't the specific Halloween music.
What the fuck is happening? Okay. This is 3? This is Halloween 3.
Halloween 3.
Okay.
And it's like computer screen lines, but like 80s computer
right,
screen
right.
lines that keep like...
Where it's like 1100110.
No, just like actual lines.
Okay.
Not numbers.
Okay. I was sending you a message with, what is that code called?
Me.
The 101. Binary code.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we go through all the people that did things. Shout out to John Carpenter. He does the music still. So it's still very good music. Okay. And then the computer screen kind of like starts to like turn into a pumpkin.
Okay.
Like on the screen.
Yeah.
Not the thing itself.
Sure.
And then the pumpkin's just flashing. So now it's nighttime. We're looking at the under of an overpass, an underpass, if you will.
Yep. The under of an overpass. Got it.
It's dark. It's nighttime.
As opposed to the pass. We got the overpass, the underpass, and the pass. I got it.
The under of the overpass. On screen it says Northern California, October, Saturday the 23rd.
Oh. Vince Eustace's birthday.
Happy birthday, Vince Eustace.
Yeah.
That just made me panic because then I was like, wait, then isn't it 2 other people's birthdays?
No,
we
that's
know,
the
but then
next
it's
day.
the next day because
Yeah.
they have the same. I'm like, who always shares whose?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Happy almost birthday to Allison and Anna the next day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Happy almost birthday. Except that's not what today is
No,
when you're hearing this
it's not.
anyway. But underpass.
Why are our episodes 3 hours long? Okay. Underpass.
There's a guy running towards us.
Mm-hmm.
He is running and then he stops and like looks behind him. So he's like, maybe something's chasing him.
Got it.
We start to see a car coming around the bend.
Okay.
He keeps running. He runs into a junkyard. He gets to a building. He's like knocking on the door and it's locked. The car is coming. He goes to like the trailer of the junkyard. Mm-hmm. And then like that's locked. He's like banging on it. The car stops like outside the driveway. And he kind of like ducks down. And the car keeps driving past.
Okay.
He starts climbing around some shit. The car backs up
Oh, no.
and pulls into the drive.
Oh, no.
He's like watching the car and it's like, and he's kind of like looking at it and slowly kind of like backing away. Bam! Someone bumps into him from behind. It's like a guy in a suit. The guy tackles him to the ground and like is just calmly choking him.
Oh.
Like suit man is just like, I'm going to choke you now.
Oh, like a
Sir?
calm choke.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going
Okay.
to strangle you
Sure.
to death probably.
Right. He
But-
yawns while he's doing it.
Boop, boop, boop. Business. God, I hate Mondays.
God.
I just got my Monday choking. So he starts running guy. Mm-hmm. There's like a chain next to him. He starts like pulling, like yanking on the chain. And that happens to be connected to a block that was holding the tire of a car.
Oh.
And so he like gets it free and the car like slowly backs into the suit guy and he gets like crushed between 2 cars.
That's pretty smart. Why did the suit guy not move?
I don't know.
Because it was slow, no?
It's pretty slow.
Okay.
I mean, he's really dedicated to his job.
Okay.
Of slow choking.
Also, if the car is in neutral, you can just hold it off.
I mean, can you?
I can hold cars.
Did you lift a car, Ketrin?
If my child or cat is under it, yes. Or my Kim, I could lift a car off
Thank you.
you.
Well-
Girl, could I lift a car off you?
He's just trying to do his
His Monday job.
choking.
Yeah.
His Monday choking.
He's just trying to clock in, clock out.
Yeah. He's like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm choking right now.
can't worry
I'm
about
doing
this
my
car."
strangle. Okay. That guy gets crushed. running guy crawls out from underneath. The car with the lights are still there, and the driver in another suit gets out.
Oh, interesting. For some reason, I thought that the suit guy had gotten out of that car. But
No, because it happened like right as the car was pulling in, basically.
Great. Okay. So now another
like a
suit
sneak
guy
attack.
is coming out of the car. Okay.
They're good at their job.
Yeah. Wow. They're suiting it up.
They are professional businessmen.
Yep.
They buy, sell, buy, sell. Choke, rah, scare,
Choke, stab,
rah.
choke, stab.
So then that guy like just runs away through the graveyard. No, the
Junkyard?
I definitely wrote graveyard.
I mean, it is a graveyard of junk.
cars.
Yep.
It's a car graveyard. That must have been what I meant.
Yep. That is what you meant.
He just runs away to the distance.
Okay.
Now we kind of go up to the sky. There's thunder and lightning. And on screen it says 1 hour later. And now it's like pouring rain. We're outside a gas station. Inside, the attendant is like in there just like chilling, like watching TV. And it's like something on the news about like that we stay on for a pretty long time. It's just like Stonehenge. And like one of the stones got stolen or something. And it's like crazy.
One of the stones from Stonehenge got stolen.
And they're like, authorities are baffled and shit. There's like no clues. It's been 9 months and it's fucking crazy because that shit weighed 5 tons.
Yeah. So it's also crazy, like, how was it put up other than by witches?
Right.
Because they didn't have fucking machines to do it. So, like, that in and itself is insane.
Definitely witches.
Yeah.
And this is one of the 19...
Can you write this down? I want to do a postmortem on Stonehenge.
Sure. I don't write those down, but...
I'll write it down in my brain bucket.
I mean, I could write it down on this paper of scribble right now, but I'm never going to look or see that ever again.
Got it. So I'll just remember it. We'll cut this out. Goodbye.
No, when we listen back, I'll be like, that's a postmortem to do.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
Got it. We'll cut all this out.
No, people want to know how our business works. Buy, sell, choke, stab. Buy, sell, choke, stab.
Put on your suit. It's Monday.
Monday suit. I got to go to the car graveyard to do my business.
Oh my God. Okay.
So the blue stone was stolen. It's one of 19, this is one fact that I actually thought was interesting.
What?
Because I actually was like, what's the deal with Stonehenge? So it'll be a great postmortem. One of 19 stones, and they represent the 19 cycles of the moon.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty cool.
Fucking pagans. Like, I'm down with them.
Yeah, they know what's up.
I think I'm a pagan. I'm a Buddhist pagan. Keep going.
Okay. So then a commercial comes on for Silver Shamrock, and it's like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. 8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
I knew the song.
Oh, did you know it?
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
No, I just was.
You just felt it in your bones.
Yeah.
So 3 masks. They make masks for kids basically for Halloween, and they like glow in the dark and blah blah blah. And attendant guy hears a noise outside, like trash cans and shit, and he like gets up and starts like looking through the windows. Running guy comes in and like grabs at him basically and like falls to the ground and it's like dying kind of, and he's like, they're coming, and he's holding one of those pumpkin masks.
Oh no.
And they're like big cover your whole head thing, like
Sure.
it's like you they just have a little hole,
Like a pumpkin mascot head.
yeah, but not big, not
Right.
giant. It just fits around your face.
Got it. Oh, I see. Got it.
But it's not just the front, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's like a little boop.
Yep.
You put your hole in, put your head in the hole.
It's got a little boop. I got it.
You put a little boop in the boop.
Oh God.
So they're coming, he says.
Yeah.
And then just passes out on the ground.
Oh gosh.
And we see the two of them drive off in the pickup truck. Like basically gas attendant guy was just like, I guess, put him in the passenger seat and was like, I'm gonna get this guy help. As they drive away, we see a suit guy watching them.
Suit guy.
Cut to Thrill Me. Tom Atkins.
Oh my God.
He walks into a house and like his 2 little kids are very excited, and there's like an uptight mom and they're like, oh my God, daddy's visiting, basically. Like, Daddy's here. And he's like, I got gifts for you for Halloween. And he like got the masks, and they're like little plastic masks.
Like 80s
that
masks.
are just like the ones that only cover the front of your face and have like a little string, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, thanks. They're like, Mom got us silver shamrock masks. So they have like the big good ones.
Don't you know your dad is Tom Atkins?
So they put those on. It's like a little skeleton and a little witch. And the TV is on, and the fucking commercial comes on. 8 more days of Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more days of Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Why is this a Halloween store called Silver Shamrock?
Hold, please, ma'am.
All right. Sorry,
Ma'am?
Ma'am?
Ma'am.
Sorry.
Who's telling the story?
You are.
Shh. So he gets paged, and turns out he's a doctor. He has to like go into the hospital, and the mom is kind of just like, oh, drinking and doctoring, great, or something, because he had like a flask with him or something. I don't even know, but she
Jesus
just seems
Christ.
like very like, the kids were at the table, like, what are you doing? Like, we were eating dinner, like she's unhappy
Okay.
with him.
Hashtag couples therapy.
Hashtag they're divorced.
Okay.
So, which I wasn't sure at the time. I was just like, yowza.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a little bit more sense.
But then she is referred to as ex-wife at a certain point. So the kids kind of sit down and watch the fucking TV commercial, and Tom is like, I'm going to go into the hospital. They need me. So he goes, and it's the running guy that is now on a little stretcher thingy being wheeled through, and he's like passed out, but he's like clutching that little pumpkin mask. And they like kind of stop him in the hallway, and one of the TVs is on, and it's like beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop. 8 more days of Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. And he starts to kind of like wake up and like starts to freak. He's like, they're going to kill us.
Running guy?
They're going to kill all of us.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Like the song wakes him up. So now we're at the parking lot of the hospital, and there's a suit guy.
Oh, no. Are these black
nighttime.
suits, navy suits,
They're
tan
gray.
suits, gray suits?
Gray
Okay.
suits.
Well-tailored,
Very.
rented, well-tailored.
Very
Okay.
well
Got
tailored,
it.
but in like a robot way, not in like
Got
a
it. Got it.
sexy way.
Right. I hear you. But
Or
also
like,
not in like an ill-fitting what our president wears kind of way.
no.
Okay.
Well tailored, but I wasn't like, hey,
Got
about
it.
it.
I hear you.
'Cause
I know
love
exactly.
a good tailored suit.
Oh my. Gentlemen, if you ever want to show your lady the equivalent of female nudity,
Humana.
put a fucking well-tailored suit on.
Oof.
Ooh.
Maybe like a skinny tie.
Oh my Lord. My.
I also love like a navy suit with brown shoes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Love a good navy suit with brown shoes.
I can't even. Oof. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We'll be right back.
I'm just Anyway, what was I talking about?
I don't know. I think we're talking about a horror
guy
movie.
in a suit.
He was in the parking lot.
He was in the parking lot. So now it's nighttime at the hospital. Tom is talking to a nurse. He's tired. She's like, go take a nap. And he's like, come take one with me. Smacks her on the ass at one point. It's a little sexual harassy.
Yep.
A little handsy, a little sexual
But
harassy.
it is the 80s, and we didn't know what that was back then.
Yep. It was a little, okay. Bye-bye.
That's just the workplace. That's what you get, women, if you're in the workplace.
Yeah. So, suit guy's now in the hallway. Running guy is now like in a room. He's sleeping. Clearly he's been helped or whatever. And suit starts to put on some black leather gloves.
What?
And he's just walking through the halls. And he gets to running guy's room. And he puts his hand over running guy's mouth.
Oh, no.
And then he picks up his other hand, and I thought he was going to like hold his nose.
Right.
To like suffocate him.
Sure.
But instead he takes his fingers and like stabs into his eyes.
What?
But like almost like shatters his skull, maybe like something bonkers.
Okay. The
He
dude was
did.
asleep,
Yeah.
and putting the hand over his mouth did not wake him up.
I don't know. He's asleep in the hospital. Like maybe he's like on some fucking shit.
Okay. And then he gets his skull shattered.
Yes.
Through his eyes.
Through his eyeballs.
Cool.
Something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. His face was mush.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Great.
And even if he did wake up, it wasn't like he was like not struggling or anything the whole time. Like, but this man is like holding him down. That's why he was holding his mouth.
Okay.
And then he like his hands are all bloody from, his gloves are all bloody. Mm-hmm. So he just like goes to the little like sheet thing that like wraps around the ceiling, the rooms.
Where it's the separator.
The separator.
Yeah.
And he just starts like wiping his hands on that.
On the separator?
On the separator. It's very bizarre. But his gloves, he's just like wiping the blood off of his gloves while they're on his hands, like
That's
on the little curtain,
bizarre.
Basically on the curtain. And the nurse comes in right at that moment, and she's just like, sir, ma'am. He just kind of slowly leaves. He just like walks by her and leaves, and she's like, I need help. And so Tom wakes up and like goes to find her, and the nurse is like freaking out, like she like can barely speak. She's like, a man came that way, And so Tom starts like following in that direction, and he's basically like chasing him through the hospital, but he's too late. The man has like gone to the parking lot and gotten in his car, and Tom watches this happen. This is just a bonus point. Great for just think of something crazy as to what Suit Guy does next.
Something crazy that Suit Guy does next. He's in the car driving away.
No. He just sat in his car.
Okay. Just
got
sat in his
and
car.
he sat in his car. And what does he do next?
And he just does something crazy.
It's pretty bonkers. I mean, I would say it's to get away with murder, I guess. To kind of get away. Ugh.
He chops his own hands off.
That's a great guess.
And then eats them.
Ooh, great guess. He just sits in the driver's seat and starts dumping gasoline all over himself and face, and then lights himself on fire.
Okay.
Mondays, am I right? Right? God. Who can even take it anymore? I just want to light myself on fire, all this killing. Got this business suit on. So
that was crazier than mine.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening? He was just so like nonchalant about it. I was like, wow, businessman. Very businessy. So now Tom is calling his ex-wife and telling her, like, he's like, look, shit went down. I can't come get the kids. And she's flipping out because she's like, it's your fucking turn. Da, da, da. And he's like, okay, look, I'll come get them on Saturday. There's like cops all around the hospital. And Tom sees, they're kind of like looking at different stuff, and he sees like the pumpkin mask there. And like on the back of it is the little silver shamrock like logo. So it's like a little like circular like button almost that's like on the mask that says Silver Shamrock.
Okay.
And then you like recognizes it because he's like, oh, that's what the fucking kids
wanted
and have and she got for them. Blah. Sunday the 24th.
Anna and
Happy
Allison's birthday.
Anna and Allison. It's kind of like early morning, daytime now. The car outside is still like smoking a little bit. We're at the hospital. There's cops around, etc. A lady comes in and she's sad faced, and she comes to look at the body that's of running guy that's still just laying in his hospital bed with a blanket over him.
Sure.
Seems like they didn't do things very efficiently or quickly, but she came there to come identify his body. Basically, that's her father.
Right.
So the cop is like, it's probably drugs. Like it was some crazy man who just like came in here. Not that the dad was like,
oh,
like,
I thought they were like drugs probably made his head shatter.
No. They're like, he was murdered, but it was like some fucking crazy dude that like came in and then fucking lit himself on fire. Like he was probably just fucking cracked out of his mind. So Tom is now kind of leaving, like walking through the hallways, and he sees the daughter somewhere else just like kind of crying, and they make a little eye contact. Now we're at the coroner's office. Wednesday, the 27th.
Got it. I don't know anyone with that birthday, so we can move on.
Okay. Tom. Oh, what day is today that this is coming out?
Oh, I don't know.
God damn it. So it's the 16th?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So today is my brother and sister's birthday.
Oh, shit.
I don't think they listen, but it is. Fuck. Happy birthday, Catherine and John. They're 2 years apart
Oh, neat.
on the same day.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right? So one of my 45 siblings.
Right.
So Tom is at the coroner's office with a coroner lady.
Okay.
And trying to get info.
I like that there's a coroner lady in the 80s.
Oh, great. Good.
Oh,
Wait till you
oops.
see what happens.
Okay.
So he's trying to get info about what happened. The suit guy, basically, who lit himself on fire. Because he's like, that was not drugs.
No.
I watched him be in complete control, just like walking down the hallway.
Yeah, that was Cuckoo Birds.
And so he gets like a little flirty with her, basically.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Thomas J. Atkins. Get it together.
Thomas Jeanine Atkins.
Thomas Jeanine.
That
Get
was
over here right
some
now.
maniacal laughter there.
It was. I'm
Catherine.
so sorry.
Jeez. Calm yourself, ma'am. He basically gets a little flirty though, and then she's like, "Okay, I'll find out something for you."
Oh, God.
So now
Karen.
Karen. I mean, he's,
Are you having feelings for Thomas Jeanine?
Thomas Jeanine has got some swag.
I agree with you.
Got a little swag.
I fucking agree with you. I'm like, hey, Thomas
Can't
Jeanine,
help it.
thrill me, okay?
Thrill me. Fine, I'll get you your coroner information.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fuck. So charming. We're getting away with all the sexual harassment.
I know.
He wasn't even like sexual harassing with
No.
her. It was just like, it was flirty,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was kind of just like, whatever. So now Tom's at the bar, Friday the 29th.
This is my friend Bryn from high school. Her birthday is on the 29th.
Why is that? Cartoons are on the TV.
Okay.
And he's just sitting out there at the bar and he's like, yo, can we change the channel? And then a commercial comes on for the original Halloween.
With Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
I forgot we're watching a Halloween movie.
Right? And so the OG Halloween is on the TV and there's like a commercial for it. And it says, brought to you by... Bum, 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 bum. 2 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 2 more days to Halloween. Where's
Michael
Myers?
Myers?
So now the daughter walks into the bar, daughter of running guy,
Right.
who was sad at the hospital.
Yeah.
Comes in and she's like, I'm Ellie Greenbridge. The nurse told me to find you here. She says, I saw you at the funeral. Like, thank you for coming. And she's like, so did my dad say anything to you before he died? And Tom says, yeah. He said, tell Ellie I love her. And Ellie's like, I mean, you're a bad liar, but thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
And Tom was like, look, I don't know. He wouldn't let go of like this Halloween mask. And all he said was, they're going to kill us all. And then he's dead.
Right.
So I don't know what's going on.
And his Halloween mask was like a little pumpkin.
The pumpkin. There's like 3 masks. There's the Halloween, the witch, and the skeleton.
Okay, got it.
So
The pumpkin, the witch, and the skeleton.
what did I say?
The Halloween, the witch, and the pumpkin.
Interesting.
Yeah. The pumpkin, the witch, and the skeleton. Got it. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I just wanted to explain for our Sammies.
Wow. So then they go to the store that the dad owned.
Mm-hmm. Thomas, Jeanine, and Ellie.
Ellie.
Okay.
Yeah. Thomas, Jeanine, and Eleanor go to the dad store.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
They
like,
got a new dad.
I'd like a new dad, please.
Oh, you're in luck. We're having a sale.
Ma'am, I'm in the market for a new dad. Oof.
Oh, man.
So there's Halloween stuff in the store. It seems kind of like a general store. And she's like, oh, I don't know if you've ever been here. Business like hasn't been going great. I'm sure you just like go to the big mall now that everyone else goes to, kind of thing. But there's definitely like a wall of like the Shamrock masks. And Ellie's like, look, I've been doing some detective work and looking through his schedule planner. And she's like, on October, she's like, he did this. October 20th, it says pick up more masks. And she's like, each thing, it was like, do this. And he did it. And then it was like, pick up more masks. And that's what he had written. And then the next day for the 21st, it was dinner with so-and-so, but that he never showed up for.
Okay.
So something happened around that day.
Right.
Of the masks.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't know anyone born on the 21st, so.
The 21st, I don't know. The 20th. See, now I'm getting in trouble because I'm just like
forgetting birthdays.
I think the 20th is my stepdad's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, Barry. Barry. Barry.
This is a weird thing we're doing.
I don't know why we're doing No, it won't stop.
Won't stop.
But now I'm panicking about the day. It's the 20th. It's
Okay.
the 20th. The beep, 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 boop, boop. So he went to Santa Mira, which is where the mask factory is.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm not going back to LA till I know what the fuck happened to my dad.
Jeez.
Cut to Thomas Jeanine on a payphone with his ex-wife. And he's like, look, I can't be there this weekend.
Yeesh. Oof.
But I'm going to come back to take them trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Okay.
So he like bails again and then gets out of the phone booth and like goes and gets in the car with Eleanor.
But like, why are they doing whatever? It's fine.
Well-
He's not a detective. He's a doctor.
Yes.
Like, doesn't he have shifts at the L'Hopital where he works?
I'm no doctor. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm a suit worker.
I'm just like,
All I know how
I'm
to
a
do
suit worker.
is strangle and shatter.
And shatter. And I'm just like, Thomas Jeanine, you were a detective in the other movie. Like, if you want to be a detective, do that. But like, you're a doctor now.
He felt very detective-y.
Yeah.
But as he like walks away from the phone booth, he was like in front of, you know, a store that has a bunch of TVs. And it was like, as he walks away, the fucking commercial comes on again.
Jesus Christ.
And they're like, 2 more days. So now they're driving to the factory and it's like out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Okay.
And they're talking about like how it's the largest Halloween mask creator in the country or something. And it's like run by like proud Irish people.
Okay.
Which is why
Hence
it's
the Shermer.
So it's like someone who came over from Ireland and started it, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you get to the town, everything there is like there's like shamrock stuff everywhere. Like the bar is called like the Dublin Inn. So it's like all little tiny stuff, but it's clearly all very like Irish shit.
Yeah.
And everyone in town is watching them. Like everything that they drive by, like all the people are like
What?
staring.
Okay.
Like she's like, I feel like I'm in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Weirdsies.
And there's also like cameras on all the street poles that like move kind of. Like they're like
Weirdsos. Kind of feels like Deliverance a little bit. Or like just that they're going into a town where people are like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, like it feels very small town. Like, and they're like, you know, I think they even say that where it's just like, it's a factory town where it's like everyone
works at the factory.
yeah, and knows everyone. Yeah. So they're like, okay, let's like pose as buyers. We'll get a hotel room at this little tiny like motel that's connected to the gas station. And that way we have like a fucking place to talk without everyone being in our business. So they go there and the Irish guy who runs the gas station and the motel is like, hello.
Yep.
And they're posing as husband and wife.
Okay.
And Irish guy kind of starts like showing them around and like Tom's like, okay, distract him. So he's like showing her the room and like, let me get your bags. And they have like a bag because they weren't really planning on staying.
Right.
And he kind of runs over to the office and checks the little log of like sign-ins, you know, and he sees the dad's name.
Oh, shit. Okay.
On October 20th.
Very detective-y, Thomas Jeanine.
Right?
You're a doctor.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. So, the Irish guy is all talking about Mr. Cochran, who runs Shamrock.
Collar Cochran.
Connell
Connell Cochran. Connell Collar.
And he's like,
Colin Cochran.
and then a car slowly drives by and it looks familiar. And Irish guy's just like, Connell Cochran's a great man. he's a true genius and all these things. Like he just fucking loves him and thinks he's like the best fucking dude. Thank you. I didn't practice it. Probably should have. I practiced the song.
Girl, it's tough.
So then at that moment, a big motorhome like drives in and there's like music playing and this like little fun like wacky family comes out. They're from San Diego. It's just like a couple and their like 10 to 12-year-old son.
Okay.
10 to 12. That's very specific.
I know. What? I don't know what that's.
I would say 7 to 15. Nope. 10 to 15.
Okay.
8 to 15.
Okay.
8 to 15.
Alive, between alive and dead.
Alive.
Got it. Okay.
8 to 12. So that little family comes in and then another lady drives in and she's all fucking pissed off because she's like, the fucking factory screwed up and now I got to stay in this dump again.
Jeez.
Yeah.
People are serious about their Halloween masks.
Well, they run stores.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They own stores and this is how they make a
get
living.
them. Yeah.
So, Thomas, Jeanine, and Eleanor get into their room and there's one bed in there and he kind of starts talking about like, should I get another room? And like, but they're like, but she's like, I mean, that would blow our cover to pose as literal husband and wife.
So like we should probably fuck. I mean, for our cover.
Probably,
you know?
Because he's like, I mean, I can sleep in the car or like, I don't know, on the floor or whatever. And she's like, where do you want to sleep? And he looks at her and is like, that's a dumb question.
And he's like, I want to sleep in your pants. That's where I want to sleep.
He does, because then he walks over and he kisses her.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he's Thomas Jeanine.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I was like, wow, that all happened very quickly, but it did.
Yeah. I mean, he knows what he wants.
You weren't, so does she.
Yeah. Everybody is consenting.
There was no part of what you were saying, Ketrin, that was incorrect. Like you were just like, no, I was like, no, that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah, I can see it playing out right now.
So now the sun is going down and all these messages start going off like in the town, like announcements over speakers. Okay. And it's like, it's 6 o'clock. It's curfew. Like everyone get inside. Please return to your own homes.
Okay.
Be inside.
All
It's
right.
6 o'clock. Curfew. And I was like, weird.
Jesus.
So now it's nighttime and there's like, kind of we're looking at like the cameras on the streets. There's a little Shamrock store that is still open for whatever reason because I'm just like, but isn't it curfew?
Yeah.
And so Tom is in there and he like just bought a bottle of something because he's like, fuck it, fucking Thomas Jeanine.
Yeah. Gotta lube up a little bit.
Do what I want. So he like bumps into this guy who seems like, I think, like a homeless gentleman.
Okay.
And the guy's like, hey, do you mind if I have a drink? I don't have any diseases or anything. So Tom's like, here you go. Like gives him a swig of his bottle. And he's like, hey, you know anything about Mr. Cochran? Cochran?
Connell Cochran. Yeah, Connell Cochran.
Felt weird when I said it.
It's a weird name because you want it to be like McConnell. Connell is a weird first name. And then Cochran, you're like, am I saying that right? Because it's weird. It's weird.
I mean, I want his last name to be McConnell if you said that.
Yeah.
No. Connell about Cochran. I just keep saying cock now. Cochran?
Cockle Cochran.
Cock. Mr. Cock.
Mr. Cockle Cochran.
And homeless gentleman is like, yeah, well, he brought in everyone, like all the people that work at the factory from the outside. He's like, not me. I'm a fucking local boy. And he like shot me down.
Wow.
Like, he couldn't get a job there at the factory.
This is interesting.
And he's like, you better watch out. There's cameras everywhere. I guarantee he's watching you. And he's like, fuck you, Cochran. Kind of just yells to the air. And he's like, this is going to, and he seems like maybe he's a little drunk or something.
Sure.
He's like, this is going to be your last Halloween. I'm going to get a bunch of those Molotov cocktails and burn it down.
Oh.
And Thomas Jeanine's like, okay, thanks, sir.
Yeah.
And kind of moves along. And homeless guy's now like kind of drunk, like wandering around. Suit guys appear. And homeless gentleman is just like, I was just kidding.
Whoa. He like knows who the suit guys are and he's freaked out by them?
He seemed freaked out.
Shit. How many suit guys?
2, I believe. Okay. And Suit grabs his head and rips it off his body.
I'm sorry, what?
One suit guy grabs his head and rips it off his body.
Oh.
And then he throws that, and then the other suit guy throws the body.
Ma'am?
That's Tuesday.
Yep. Tuesday.
You know, that's what you do on a Tuesday work.
Yeah.
Tuesday work day.
Tuesday work day is head ripping day.
Head ripping day.
Monday is choking and crushing day. Tuesday is head ripping day. Yep.
You know, you got to go to work.
Yep.
You put on your suit, you go to work every day.
Working 9 to 5. Okay.
So Eleanor is now at the motel, and she's talking to the lady that was like all kind of pissed off. And now she's like, oh, like the lady's like, are you picking up an order too? And Ellie's like, yeah. She's like, man, their merchandise is slipping though. She's like, I know my kid was like throwing around. She has one of the masks. She's like throwing it around, but the little trademark shouldn't just come right off. And like that little circle thing had like come off her mask.
Okay.
And she's like, hi, I'm Marge. I'm from San Fran. I got a store, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. So Marge goes into her room, and the trademark little circle button kind of like falls onto the ground, and we see the back of it now, and it almost looks like there's like a little computer chip on the back.
Okay.
So Eleanor's in the shower. She gets out and wraps a towel around her, and is very cold. She's so cold. So cold. I didn't know it was so cold, but she seemed very cold.
Also, we're in California.
So then she like
and
had
October. It's not like that.
I mean,
cold.
they're in.
I'll take it.
Nope. Yep. Nope. They're in Northern California, though.
I guess. Okay,
So I guess
maybe a
it's
little
cold.
chill.
But like, I don't know. It's just weird. So she like immediately, she like wraps a towel around her, and then like immediately like grabs the blanket off the bed and wraps that around her
Dramatic.
instead of the towel.
Oh my God,
I mean, it was
Eleanor.
like the tiniest towel, you know?
Sure.
You know those towels where you're just like, give me a full towel,
Give me a
please.
full towel.
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
May I have a towel,
I
please?
need a towel. I need one towel that covers my breasts and my butt.
Yeah,
all
like she
at
was like
the same
hunching
time.
over. Like nothing was shown. Like she
Right.
was just hunching over to even like, you know, but she just seemed cold and then needed a blanket. So she just wrapped herself immediately. But I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So now Marge is she's in her motel room, and she's like getting in bed with a good book. Tom is in what I assume is the office, because he's calling from a phone to the coroner lady.
Okay.
And wanted to check in on like what's up. And she's like, oh fuck. She's like, I'm sorry, they mixed up the envelopes, somebody fucked up, because she's like, all I had, what, like we were doing an autopsy on car parts basically.
What?
Like, yeah, basically being like, we were supposed to be looking at the body, like there was like
Yeah.
the evidence of the body and then the evidence of the burnt up car, and somebody mixed up the shit because she's like, we were just looking at a bunch of fucking car parts.
Concerned at that whole situation that somebody misidentified car parts for body parts. I'm so concerned about that entire
I don't
department.
think there were see-through envelopes.
I think I need to
Feels
shut
better.
this place. I'm making some calls. This is not acceptable.
Well, back to the room. Tom comes in, and Ellie, we see like the back of her where she's still like wrapped in the blanket, but then she opens the blanket and she's wearing like a lingerie nightie sort of thing.
Oh my.
Which I was like, wow, glad that was one of the things she
That she
included in
packed.
the not
Yeah.
packed case.
Sounds like she was like, Thomas Jeanine, I'm packing a lingerie suit.
So she like drops the blanket, and then it's like sexy time, and I was like, hello.
Wow.
And she like lays down on the bed, and he like comes up from like her legs, and then like is very sensual, and then like straight sucks her nipple.
Thomas Jeanine! Oh
like-
my heavens!
I was like,
What is happening? Hello. Good Lord. Okay.
Like, yeah, just, I mean, it was like from above, but it seemed like her nipple was inside his mouth.
Sure. I mean, okay.
And every time you see things like that, like, I'm just like, I'm not mad at this.
Me neither.
But I also wonder what that would be like as an actor.
Yeah.
I always think about the acting of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. So now that it's later in bed and they're like cuddling, and the radio is on next to them, and then it's like beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop.
Fuck,
2 more
this
days for
song.
Halloween.
Power off.
Halloween. So Tom changes the station, and Allie's kind of like kissing up on him again, and he's like, "Aren't you even a little bit tired?" And she's like, "No," and he's like, "Wait, how old are you?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Thomas Jeanine, you need to ask this before you suck someone's nipple. Prior to nipple sucking.
And she's and she's like, relax, I'm older than I look. And I was like, girl, feel you. Hashtag my life.
Right.
And then they kind of roll around again.
Okay. But also she still didn't answer the question though. So I'm going to need a hard over 18 over this.
18. I think she's good.
Okay.
I wasn't concerned.
Okay.
So back to Marge, she puts down her book and she sees the little shamrock button on the floor and she picks it up and like looks at the back and is like, what the fuck is this computer chip thing? Then she like grabs a bobby pin out of her hair. She just like pulls that out. She starts trying to like scoop the little chip out, and then a laser shoots into her mouth.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
And Eleanor and Thomas Jeanine are like making out, and she's like, "Do you hear a noise?" And he's like, "Who cares?" Back to Marge. She's like shaking, and it just has like mangled, lasered face.
Oh, jeez.
Like her lips are like just her. Not
like just looking not good.
And it's just like, I'm dying. And then a bug crawls out of her mouth.
Okay. We have a whole lot happening here.
I know.
We have Stonehenge. We have lasers. We have bugs. We have I mean, this is a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay.
I hope you're keeping score. It sounds like you are.
I am.
So T and E are sleeping. TJ and Enor are sleeping. They hear a car outside. Thomas Jeanine gets up naked. We see his
we see his dong
booty.
dong?
No.
Oh, okay.
We just see the back and he like slips on some pants.
But he's
I
got
was
a good
like,
boot
hey,
boot?
booty.
Hey.
What's up? And there's a white van that pulls up and a bunch of guys in white coats that get out.
White coats. Okay.
Yeah, like doctor scientist-y
Sure.
coats. And they have a stretcher and they go into Marge's room and they start to wheel her out.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Jeanine goes out and he's like, "Hi, I'm a doctor.
I forgot
would like
Thomas
to help
Jeanine
you.
because you're acting like
What's
a fucking
going on?"
detective.
I know. He's like, let me help. And they're kind of like, "No, we got it." And they drive away. Or the van drives away, but there's still like two other white cars there with like white jacket guys everywhere. And Irish motel owner guy is like, don't worry. She's going to have the best care that money can buy. And then Mr. Cochran drives up.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like, we are just going to give her the best treatment, blah, blah, blah. And Tom's like, well, where are you taking her? And he's like, to the factory where the best treatments are. And then Mr. Cochran like kind of like backs up over to the little science men and is like, what happened? And they said, misfire.
Oh, dear.
So now TJ and Enor are in their room talking about what did misfire mean? And why did her dad go to the factory and all these things. So now it's morning.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday the 30th.
Saturday the 30th. No birthdays on the 30th that I can remember.
Tom calls Lady Coroner and she's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this shit's been tampered with, because she's like, you'd think when a Bernie body burns.
Oh, you'd think when a Bernie bots.
You'd think when a body burns to bits, there would be bone fragments.
Sure.
Teeth. Something.
Yeah.
She's like, there's none of that. There's just ashes and car parts.
Jeez.
So Thomas Jeanine tells her to find out everything she can about Mr. Connell Cochran.
Okay.
And who he is. And then they get a little flirty. And then he hangs up the phone.
Coroner, also not a detective, but that's fine.
Yep.
Where are the detectives?
I don't know.
Okay.
He hangs up the phone, which again, I was like, is this in the motel office? I think it was, because like as he hangs up, we see like connected to like the phone on the wall is like a little speaker, like or
recording
device
Got
thing.
it.
A tap,
Got
if
it.
you will. It's tapped. That phone is tapped.
Got it.
So now we're at the factory. T and E are heading in. suits are watching. There's an Irish lady at the front desk, and I guess they were asking about her dad's order. And she's like, there must be a mistake because someone came and picked this up on the 20th. And she's like, let me find out. And like someone else comes in and she's like, do you remember who picked up this order? And he's like, oh yeah. It was like a guy in an old green station wagon. And Ellie's like, yeah, that's my dad's car. And he's like, yeah, he said he was like heading up north. I don't know. Then our quirky family comes in and they're coming in. They're like, hello, we're here to see Mr. Cochran. They're like, I wrote Cuthberts, but it was something else because I called them something else earlier. Cuthberts. And Mr. Cochran comes in and kind of welcomes them. We're also like in the front office at this point. And he's like, this family, their store sold more masks than anyone else in the country.
Okay.
So we're like treating them. And then he says to like T&E are kind of like they've like backed off a little, like they're going to leave or something maybe. And he's like, oh, I just wanted to apologize for last night and let you know Marge is fine. She's been flown to a hospital in San Fran. And
when your face is laser burned off, I don't know if you get to like say you're fine the very next day.
She's not dead, I think is what he meant.
Okay.
I wrote fine. He might have used different words.
Okay, great.
So
I'm just very suspicious of this whole thing.
Okay. And he's like, and just to make it up for you, I'm going to give you a replacement order for the one that you're looking for that you're missing on the house. And he's like, what's your name, by the way? And they're like, Mr. and Mrs. And Tom's like, Smith.
Good one.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Good one,
Great.
Thomas Jeanine. Jeanine Smith.
Now he's like, all right, on with the guided tour for our family that won this thing. And Mr. Cuthbert is like, oh, can my friends come too from the motel? And Mr. Cochran's like, oh, sure. Yes, I was just about to ask them.
Oh.
So now Thomas, Jeanine, Smith, and Eleanor get to go on the tour with them.
Okay.
So they're looking through the factory and they're like making masks in like these big clay bowls. It was actually really cool.
Oh, should we invite them to our Plaster of Players night?
Like, I think they could teach us a workshop.
Great. Maybe
like,
we do our Plaster of Players
some
night
shit
at their factory.
Silver Shamrock.
Love it.
I think we should.
Okay.
And then there's other rooms where there's other little like novelties of like little music things. And the family is talking about Cochran and like how he's a genius of like practical jokes. Like he invented sticky toilet paper and this and this and this. Like he used to make toys. Like he's just like
sticky toilet paper.
He invented it.
I would lose my fucking mind if someone played a sticky toilet paper joke on me. I would lose my shit.
Watch out. Now I know.
I will murder you. I will burn this place down.
So they're walking around, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, Mr. Cochran's the best. He's done all the things. And little kid comes upon a box of like finished masks. But there's like some that are like kind of just laying out still and some that are like in a box in bags. And he tries to, and he's like, am I allowed to have a pumpkin mask? And Mr. Cochran is like, oh, yeah, but take one of these that's in the bag. He's like, because that has the little button on it, the silver shamrock button on it. He's like, these other ones haven't been through final processing yet.
Okay.
And everyone's like, what's final processing? And he's like, oh, it's just like we give the seal of approval, and do all the tests and like, can't give away our trade secrets though. And then we see that like across the walkway is a door that says final processing on it. But like they're not allowed to go into that one.
Right.
They're like at the loading dock area at this point. And he's like, no, chemicals, blah, testing, blah. So now we're like kind of out at like the loading dock. There's suit men standing around. Thomas, Jeanine, Smith, and Eleanor are leaving. And Thomas, Jeanine is kind of like, they're still like kind of in the area. And they're walking away though. And he's like, I'm just seeing some familiar men. Because all these guys looking a lot like Suit Guy who killed your dad.
Dear me.
So then a little garage opens up and we see just the back part of a car. Like it's been covered with like a tarp, but we see like a little bit of it. And Eleanor freaks out and she's like, that's Papa's car. That's Papa's car. And she starts to run towards the garage.
Oh, shit.
And then 2 suit guys just kind of stand in front of her and block her. Like, they don't do anything. They just like stand there like bouncers almost.
Yeah.
And everyone like kind of looks at Mr. Cochran to be like, why are they not letting her in? And he's like, trade secrets, you know? So she's just standing in front of like these 2 guys who are just standing in there now. Question number 1, what does she do and what do you do?
Can she see the license plate?
I don't think so. It was just like the back corner kind of.
Okay. I am going to say, okay, sorry, go into my super polite mode. And then I'm going to go to a payphone outside of town. I'm going to tell Thomas Jeanine what my plan is. I'm going to go to a payphone outside of town and I'm going to call the actual police officers, not doctors posing as detectives, and be like, listen, something fucking weird is going on. Me and Thomas Jeanine are at the factory where they make these masks. And I know that was my dad's car and they wouldn't let me see it. Why the fuck does this mask factory have my dad's car? This is fuckity fucked. But I'm going to be super chill about it while within the, you know, county lines. What does she do? So up to this point, they're just standing in front of her and she has not yet reacted per se, in the sense that like they stood in front of her and now I'm being asked the question. Does she try to push past them and try to get a better look at the car?
Point for you.
Okay.
She just walks away, like lets it go.
That's weird.
And so she goes to the motel now and there she starts packing and she's like freaking out. And Thomas Jeanine is like, I think it's time for the Marines. He's beyond where you are, Ketrin.
What in the fuck?
And she's like, I'm scared. Let's leave. And he's like, all right, you pack, stay here. He's like, I'm going to go to the office and call the police. He's like, there's got to be someone whose jurisdiction this is.
Yeah.
So he goes to the office.
Because it's not the doctor's jurisdiction, else I would help. This is ridiculous.
He goes to the
I'm so mad.
Goes to the office. Somewhere there's a fucking commercial playing. One more day to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. He's on the phone and he calls the operator and it says, I'm sorry, I cannot complete that call as dialed.
Ma'am?
Ma'am. He tries again and it just says, I'm sorry, cannot complete that call as dialed.
Get out of that town, sir.
So he goes back to the room.
No. Okay.
Eleanor is gone.
Eleanor.
He opens the door. There's a line, like a row of suit men standing out there. Question number 2, what does he do? What do you do?
So he opens the door out of the room again. Like he goes into the room. No, Eleanor
so
goes
he's
back
in
out
the room and he opens the door and sees them.
A line of suits. Mm-hmm. I'm very confused because I'm like, you're a doctor. You don't have a detective belt with a gun in it or any of those things.
But how many detective men have we come into who aren't doing a good job at that?
I guess. I mean, okay.
He's way more Nicolas Cage than Nicolas Cage.
He really is. So they're not confronting him. They're just staring at him, right?
It's just like a row of them ominously standing there. I mean, he's only opened the door for a second.
Right.
I don't know if they're going to confront him.
I'm going to... I really want there to be a window in the bathroom. Is there?
I believe so.
Okay. I'm going to go back in.
From when she was taking such a cold shower.
Oh, right. I'm going to climb out I'm going to close the door and climb out the window in the bathroom. And I think we do that hand in hand. Yay!
So he shuts the door, locks it, runs to the bathroom, climbs out the bathroom window. They just like break into the door. It's like they just like walk through almost.
Jesus.
And now Thomas Jeanine is like running through the streets. And there's like white Shamrock cars driving around. It's nighttime. He sees a car pull into another garage somewhere, and a bunch of suits pull Ellie out of the back seat. Question number 3, what does he do? What do you do?
I think I'm going to hide and I'm going to stealthily follow them to see where they're taking Ellie. I think he's on foot, correct?
He's on foot.
I think he does the same.
It's a half a point
Okay.
for him. He goes to a payphone and tries the operator again.
Okay.
And it says, if you'd like to make a call, like it's like not fucking working.
Of course.
So
Fucking course, Thomas Jeanine.
there's still like another car driving around. He kind of like ducks and then he runs to the factory and does like stealthily kind of like squeeze into the fence, tries to open some windows. He sees like an open window somewhere and climbs in. So now he's like creeping around inside the shelves and shit.
Where Ellie was taken.
He's inside the factory now.
And that's not where she was. This was a different place.
It was unclear.
Okay.
But I think they might have been connected.
Okay. All right.
It was unclear what they drove into exactly.
Okay.
But it was the Shamrock guys for sure.
Okay.
So he kind of like ducks because of course there's like moving cameras in there too. And there's a private door, like it says private on it. So it's like the office probably. He goes in, there's another door and he sees an old lady sitting there.
An old lady?
Sewing. Very old.
Okay.
Just sitting in like a rocking chair, sewing.
Okay.
And he goes up and he kind of like grabs her and shakes her and her head falls off.
Ma'am,
Inside
put your head back on.
are mechanical bits.
Oh.
She's a robot.
Oh, dear.
A suit comes behind him and now like throws him into some boxes in the factory.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Jeanine starts fighting back. He like punches him and suit like is unfazed.
Right.
Like it felt like Terminator 2, like whenever you would hit what's his face?
Yeah.
That we saw.
Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
Just unfazed.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck. And so Suit now like grabs his head with both hands. And Tom is like kind of grappling with him and like punches him in the stomach. And his hand just goes like inside Suit's insides.
What?
And yellow goop kind of starts like coming out of Suit's mouth.
What?
And he pulls his hand out and it's covered in yellow goop and holding like wires.
Okay.
So now two more suits come and like grab him from behind. But like Thomas Jeanine is just like freaked out and like defeated basically because he was just like, the fuck's happening?
Thomas Jeanine, get it together.
So he just stands up like with them. And then Mr. Cochran comes in and he's holding the old lady robot head. And he's like, kind of looks at the dead suit on the ground and is like, clumsy. And he's like, this old lady head was a rare piece from 1785.
1785?
Munich. I don't remember what he said.
I thought you said eunuch for a second. You said Munich. Got it. 1785? They didn't have fucking... Okay, whatever. Keep going.
And he's like, doctor.
Yes. Remember, Thomas Jeanine, you're a fucking doctor.
But he's like, remember when his name was Mr. Smith?
Yeah.
So Mr. Cochran is like,
Cochran knows who it is.
Mm-hmm. And Thomas Jeanine Smith is like, where's Eleanor? And he's like, she's resting. He's like, it's going to be morning soon. Halloween morning. Very busy day for me. And now it's morning. Sunday the 31st.
Millie McKeechee from 6th grade.
Halloween.
Yep.
And also Halloween.
Right. Oh, this isn't a movie about Millie birthday? Okay.
So factory suits. You say a lot of people's full names from your past.
That's true.
Factory suits are leading Thomas Jeanine somewhere. And oh, nope, that's what I thought it said. Cochran's just taking in the morning air.
Oh, what a lovely poetic little moment. What a nice little respite from this horror movie.
I was like, what does that say?
I love that
He's just standing on the loading dock, taking in the morning air.
In the morning air.
which is why they all end up walking to the final processing area.
Yes.
There's an elevator, so they all go in. And Cochran is now telling him about the robots. And he's like, as a medical man, you should find this fucking fascinating. You know? He's like, here's the best part. They're loyal and obedient, unlike most humans.
True. I mean, you're not wrong.
So now they go downstairs into some like big open factory room.
Okay.
Just
warehouse room.
And Thomas Jeanine is like, what is this place? Cochran. It's just
your face trying to formulate that word was so awesome. Because you were kind of taking in the morning air as you said it.
I was taking in the morning air as I said it.
Okay. Cochran.
He's like, what is this place? And Cochran is just like, it's ancient technology. And he's like, well, you know what? A good magician never explains this shit. So they go in.
A good magician never explains his shit.
Yeah. Haven't you heard that?
Yep.
Aw. Making Gertrude cry laugh is my favorite thing.
Okay.
So they go in. Do you know what's in there?
The fucking Stonehenge stone.
The Stonehenge stone.
How'd you get that in there?
It's fucking huge.
How'd you get that?
And so there's like scientist men in white coats everywhere. So they're climbing on the stone.
Yeah.
Or, working around it.
Right.
And then there's like a circle of like TVs with like computers and shit, like kind of in front of it. And that has like some main computer things. There's like just a bunch of computer shit around and TV stuff and the stone. And then there's like masks
all over,
like boxes of masks around too, et cetera, blah. And I guess they say something about an ancient sacrificial circle. And Cochran starts laughing and says something about like, believe we got it here. I can't read two of the words, so. It's like I don't know what's happening at this point because I can't. Usually I could like read what I wrote and then give you a gist, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, okay. So he's talking, I guess he's just talking about Stonehenge.
Okay.
And just being like, there's power in it. There's like a force, like even a little tiny particle. And he like puts a little tiny piece of Stonehenge on like the little shamrock symbol button. And he's like, is devastating.
Oh dear me, heavens to Murgatroyd.
So then we go to the TV circle and there's a bunch of TVs kind of around, but there's videos of what all the cameras are watching at. Mm-hmm. And we see Eleanor kind of like tied to a table somewhere, like there's nothing in there. Yeah. It's just like a thing and she's tied down. And then there's another table in another room that's just like a body covered in a blanket. And that's Marge from the misfire.
Marge.
And then they're like, what about the others, the family? And he's like, oh, they're actually going on doing a little demonstration thing. So the Quirky family is now being led through a hallway into, it's weird because it's like, all like a structural place, like just gray structure everywhere. But they like walk into this one room and that room has been turned into a living room type place.
Okay.
But like there's a curtain and then you draw the curtain and it's just like the silver structure, like the gray structure. It's not like there's no windows or anything,
like
so it's just like basically a set
okay.
of a living room. So they go in, the suits leave and hand Mr. Kupfert a notepad with a pen, and they shut the door and it says on the outside, it said test room A.
Oh, so
Cockle and everybody are watching on the cameras of what's happening in the room.
Okay.
And Mr. Kupfert is the family. Like, they're like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. He wants an opinion about one of their newest commercials or something. He's like, roll it, you know? And
okay.
so the TV kind of turns to scribble, and then it's like, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. It's time. It's time. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, boop. Sorry, I'm getting
she's
a
breaking
new...
out a new notebook,
Switching to a
y'all.
different notebook.
Damn.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Kids, gather round and put on your mask. And so their little child puts on his pumpkin mask and like goes right up to the TV. And of course, the mom is like, hey, don't get too close to ruin your eyes. Because it's the fucking 80s.
And everyone's worried about everybody's eyes.
Beep, boop, beep, boop. And it's like, watch the magic pumpkin. And then that same blinking pumpkin from the beginning, like the computer like blinking pumpkin, starts to blink on the screen.
Oh no.
And the little shamrock button on his mask kind of starts glowing.
Oh, no.
And the kid holds his head and his mask kind of gets all like melty or something. I don't know. And he falls to the ground.
Oh no.
And then bugs start crawling out of the mouth of the mask.
Fucking gross.
A lot of bugs.
What the
like
fuck?
from everywhere. And mom starts passing out. And then snakes start crawling out. And then like a fucking huge snake crawls out. It's a
Of the kid's mouth?
Yes, a rattlesnake. Like we can't see his mouth. Like the mask
Right.
is still covering everything, but it's coming out from that area.
What the fuck?
And we can
balls?
assume because that's where it came from, March.
Yeah.
And then a fucking rattlesnake comes out.
Jesus.
So there's just bugs, so many bugs. So you're now dad, Mr. Cuthbert. What do you do? What does he do?
If I'm a dad, I'm gonna try and rip that mask off my kid's head, to try to, save him. And then what do? I'm probably gonna try to get the mask off my kid's head too. I mean, that would be my first instinct to try to save my kid. So, you know what? I'm going to say that I do that. I try to get the mask off his head. And I think that the dad goes and like bangs on the door to be like, let us out. What's happening in here? Hey, ma'am.
It's 1.5 points.
Okay.
I don't know if that will help you, but
Right.
masks, let's do something to the mask.
Yeah. That's where all this nonsense
I don't know if anything can save you at this point.
Sure.
But
we have to try.
Yeah. Dad gives no fucks about his wife passed out or his child, I don't know, on the ground. He immediately just runs to the locked door.
That was the vibe I got from Mr. Cupford.
And is just like, help. And a rattlesnake comes up and like bites him. And then he
Sure.
passes out. And there's just bugs and snakes like everywhere.
Is there a second kid?
No, just one.
It's just two parents and a kid.
Yeah. Okay. And it's just like beep boop 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 beep boop, like just really fast. And then cut to kind of commercials all around the world, and it's just like it's like a montage of like kids around the world, and it's like beep boop happy Halloween, Halloween, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. And it's like TV's like playing everywhere, and it'll say like Dayton, Ohio, New York, and we just see kids everywhere. And there's announcements going, it's almost time, kids, be in front of your TVs for our horror-thon and our giveaway at 9 p.m. And don't forget to wear your masks.
Oh dear.
And it's like Omaha, Baton Rouge, LA, Seattle, Phoenix. We just see all these people wearing the masks. Everyone's wearing masks. And there's even like Shamrock vans at different places with like little speakers on the thing being like, almost 9, kids, get home for the giveaway. And cut to our Lady Coroner. She's now trying to call the motel, and it says, cannot complete call as dialed.
Well, shit.
So now she calls Roger.
Raj. Who the fuck's Raj?
Raj. You know Raj.
All right.
She's like, I have something for you to look at. I don't think it's a car part after all. And we see now in a kind of room next to her, a suit man in the doorway.
Oh, no.
And she's like, okay, talk tomorrow afternoon. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Suit guy opens up a drawer and picks up an electrical drill.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And Lady Coroner hangs up the phone and she starts playing with Coroner with the...
I was going to let it go.
She starts playing.
Lady Coroner. Welcome. We've been expecting you.
Like she starts playing with like some mechanical parts in front of her and she's like, oh my God. And she picks up the phone and she's like, operator, get me the sheriff. Attack! Suit guy grabs her and knocks her on the ground, and we kind of see from behind, so we're not totally seeing it, but basically drills into her skull.
No, Lady Coroner.
Back to Shamrock Town. We see on the screen 7:30 p.m.
We have an hour and a half.
So of course it's dark.
Right.
Quiet. Thomas Jeanine Smith is tied to a chair.
Shit.
With a TV in front of him.
Oh no.
In a room. He's actually like seat belted. It was like the material. So it's around his neck, once around like his arms again, and then like his legs twice. Okay. And Cockle is like, enjoy the horathon and don't forget to watch the giveaway. And Thomas Jeanine is like, why are you doing this? And Cockle's like, I love a joke. And this is the best kind of joke, a joke on children.
What the fuck is with our last two movies being people who don't know how to play jokes?
Well, he says, but there's a better reason.
What?
You don't know much about Halloween. Only your children wear masks and go out begging for candy. It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting in our houses of wattles and clay. The barriers would be down between the real and the unreal.
Okay.
And the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf Halloween. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Fires of turf. Fires of Halloween.
Okay.
The Festival of Burpsmap.
Of Burpsmap. Sam Wayne. Burpsmap.
The Festival of Burpsmap.
Yay.
The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. And Tom says, sacrifices? And Cockle's like, it was a part of our world, our craft. And Tom says, witchcraft?
Rude.
Cockle says to us, it was a way of controlling our environment. It's not so different now. It's time again. In the end, we don't decide these things, you know? The planets do. They're in alignment, and it's time again. And he takes one of the masks and puts it on Thomas Jeanine's head. The world's going to change tonight. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it. And then we start to hear Halloween music, like the...
Oh,
yeah. And
I forgot we're watching a okay.
And Cockle says, and happy Halloween. And now we see on the TV Halloween is playing, the OG Halloween, like the first one. And so that's where the music is coming from.
Okay.
So he's now sitting in front of the TV, tied up with his mask on, and we see the clock on the wall says 7:49. He kind of tries to, like, they shut the door. He's the only one in there now.
Yeah.
He starts to kind of like wiggle around a little bit. There's a video camera in the corner, and now we're back at like the Stonehenge factory area, and Cockle, you know, is kind of watching him on the screen with some other scientists, but then they kind of like go about their business. So, question number 5: what does Thomas Jeanine Smith do, and what do you do?
So he's all tied up. And the mask is on his head?
Yes.
I think the first thing I'm going to try and do is like wiggle that mask. So I'm tied to a chair.
Your top body is tied to the chair, yeah.
My top body is tied to the chair. I'm going to knock the chair over and like kind of try to wiggle my head out of the mask. That's going to be the first thing that I do. And then I can stand, like my legs aren't tied to the chair.
I don't know that you could stand.
But my legs aren't tied to the chair.
Not at the very bottom. It didn't look like.
I'm trying to stand and like break the chair apart. Like I'm gonna like run up against a wall and break a chair apart. But I don't know what kind
of a metally chair.
It's a metally chair. Okay, that's all right. So still gonna try to wiggle out of the mask. I mean, I guess I'm gonna try to wiggle out of the ropes. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm being watched on a camera. Does he break the TV screen? I feel like maybe he like tries to break the TV screen. So we're both going to try to break the TV screen after wiggling our heads out of the mask. Yay!
So he like moves the chair and then like kicks the TV screen and smashes it. And then he uses a broken shard from the TV screen to cut the seatbelt where his arms are. So now his hands are free. He takes off the mask and throws it over the camera. I was like, great aim. TJ.
Yeah.
Fucking
you
should be a baseball star.
Yeah.
On top of your doctor detectiving.
Yeah.
So the doc now sees, like one of the scientists see that like the camera is black there. Mm-hmm. And Cockle's on the phone and he's like distracted and like they won't get his attention because he's in charge. So he's just like literally standing there like waiting for him as he talks on the phone. So that gives TJ some time. He is now completely free and he opens up the vent on the wall and we see on the clock it says 8:11. He hops up into the air vent and crawls through John McClane style.
Sure.
Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs.
I love it.
One of my favorite movies of all time. I love it. And so he's crawling through and he passes by the Stonehenge area. And now the scientist is telling Cockle, like, hey, there's a malfunction on camera too. So suits go in there and they find the mask and take it off. And there's like an empty chair and they see that the vent thing is down. By this point, though, Thomas Jeanine is up on the roof.
Oh, Thomas Jeanine.
And he goes into another area where there's just like lots of boxes everywhere. And there, some suits are walking by. So he's like, but he sees a phone on the wall. Question number 6. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters. I mean, I'm going to call the goddamn police, the actual police officers, actual law enforcement, FBI, Marines, whatever the fuck. But I'm sure as fuck not going to call some more doctors.
I need a surgeon over here.
Yeah. Let's see. So that's what I'm going to do. Who's he going to call? I think he's going to call his ex-wife and tell her to make sure that the kids don't wear their Halloween masks at 9:00. Yay!
He calls his ex-wife. She immediately starts yelling, and he's like whispering. He's like, "No, you gotta get rid of the mask. You gotta get rid of the mask. He killed a family." And one of the now back at like the Stonehenge, the scientist is like, "We've lost him," and Cockle's like, "No, we haven't." And back to him on the phone, and he's like, "I'm not drunk. Just listen." And she's like, "Go to hell," and hangs up. So then he tries to call again, but footsteps are coming. And now he finds the room where Eleanor is in. And so he goes in and he's untying her. And so Cockle knew basically that's what he was going to do. Like he's like waiting for that to happen. So now he knows that they were in there. So they watch that on the camera and all the suits. He's like, the West Wing, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
President Bartlett, we have a problem.
The North Shore. That's the arena that they're in. So all the suits go there. So now Thomas, Jeanine, and Eleanor are free. They're running through the halls. We see that it's 8:26.
Oh, God.
Suits are coming. They go the other way. Now they're in the Stonehenge room, but they're hiding behind some boxes and masks. There's suits kind of everywhere. Cochran sees one of the little shamrock button things. It's like a box full of those.
Okay.
Just the unattached ones, you know? And he tells Eleanor to wait here. And so he's in the room with all the stuff that they're in. What does he do and what do you do?
Thomas Jeanine is in the room with the little things?
They're all in that room.
They're all in the room, Cockle included.
Yeah. They're in the big factory room with the Stonehenge and the TVs and the computers and the controls and the
I'm going to start...
and some boxes of this thing.
I'm going to start smashing all of the little thingies. Just like I'm fucking making wine with grapes with my feet. I'm going to make some fucking
silver
shamrock wine.
Yum.
Yeah, just smash that shit up.
Give it to me.
And they do something with those. Or wait, maybe he like dumped... No, let's say we're both going to just try and destroy those little buttons.
I'm going to give you no dings.
Okay.
It's not your fault. What he does is insane.
Okay.
Or not insane, but like
Hard
you're
to,
like,
yeah.
okay, cool, dude. But like that was just one box of the little buttons. I just like there's just
So
it's so
many.
much bigger than that. So he sneaks over to the giant control room computer thing and hits the exact right buttons somehow.
Oh.
And
To do what? Like the exact right buttons to
turn the commercial on all of the TVs in the room. And then he grabs the box of buttons and he runs up the stairs. And once it gets to the point of the pumpkin flashing, he's up in the rafters above and he dumps the box of the buttons all down on them.
Okay.
And they all start like exploding and like all these things. And like,
Where's Eleanor?
She's up there with him in the rafters.
Okay.
And so everything starts, it's like choo, 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 because they react to the pumpkin thing.
Yeah.
And so all the robots like explode. And Cockle is standing there watching this, and the pumpkins are still flashing. And it's like beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. And
Why is Cockle just like letting this happen?
he's standing basically in front of Stonehenge, and the TVs in the circle are like, he's in the middle between those two things. And the TVs like all in a circle kind of start glowing because it's just like beep, boop, beep, boop, beep,
Right.
boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. And he looks up and sees them and kind of like slow claps.
Oh, Cockle is cocky.
What do you mean?
Like he's just kind of like, nice job, guys.
He is like, he's
Yeah,
like
he's cocky.
but he's like, I've been had.
Oh, okay.
Like he's like,
Okay. Got it.
good fucking job,
Yeah.
Sir Thomas
Ma'am.
Jeanine Smith.
Yeah.
Sewed. He's been sewed at
He's
this
been
point.
sewed.
Yeah, no. Like he knows he's been had.
Got it.
He wasn't like he was just like, good job, you.
Got it.
Because then all the TVs are glowing, Stonehenge starts glowing, and then he's standing right in the middle of them. So like a laser connects like in the middle.
Oh.
And he just like lights up and like turns to stone question mark. I don't
Okay.
know. Glows. He's laser.
Sure.
And then everything kind of starts like erupting and sparking and exploding. And so now Thomas, Jeanine, and Eleanor are running away. They're already like out in the street, and behind them the factory's exploding.
Okay.
And now they're driving out of town, and there's just fire and explosions behind them. And they're driving, and it says on the like radio, it's like 8:48 p.m. and then the commercial comes on.
God.
And it's like the clock is ticking, almost 9. And Thomas Jeanine's like, we got to do something. We got to call somebody. And Eleanor's just sitting there completely silent. And he looks at her and he's like, Ellie, are you all right? Question number 8. What does she do next?
What does Ellie do?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not Ellie. I feel like it's like Robot Ellie or something. What does she do? She fucking Ellie she starts strangling Thomas Jeanine and like tries to get him to run off the road because she's Robot Ellie. Yay.
Yeah, and like I didn't really think about it at the time, but it's like she hasn't spoken or like
Right.
really done much this entire time, and she just kept running with him basically. So she just turns and looks at him and then grabs his face. And so he's still trying to drive, but he's like drives off the road. They're struggling. The car is like all over the place. And then they hit a tree. He gets out and he kind of walks behind and slowly walks to like her side of the car. The door is open and her arm, just the arm, is like still held on to the handle inside, but it's been ripped off and there's just electronic bits on the end of it.
Shit balls.
And then all of a sudden she attacks him from behind with the rest of her body and
Sure.
arm. And she has like, I guess she has robot face is what I said. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
got
It's
robot
different
face.
than other face because she looks like her. But she starts one arm choking him like against the trunk, and he reaches in the trunk and like grabs a crowbar and like hits her with that a couple times, and then yellow goop starts coming out of her mouth, and he hits her again. Her head falls off,
Right.
and now her eyes are still like just sitting on the ground, like.
Kim's doing robot eyes, everyone.
I was doing robot eyes. And he gets in the car, shuts the passenger door. The arm then grabs his neck and tries to choke him. So he rips that off. He gets out and throws that into the woods.
Jeez Louizzles.
He looks at his watch. It's 8:50.
8:50. We got 10 minutes. Thomas Jeanine.
Thomas Jeanine. And then the headless body attacks him.
Oh my Lord.
But it like is trying, and it's like a slow death, and it just falls to his feet and dies. And then he just runs into the woods towards the road, I hope, ?
Okay.
He seemed
also,
to know where he was going.
Still playing if the factory burned down, and the factory clearly is the control panel for the commercial.
I believe the TV stations are probably the controls for the commercial.
Okay. But like now that Stonehenge is just, you know what? I'll let you tell the story. Go ahead.
But all of the masks have bits of Stonehenge in them.
Right. Okay.
And the commercial is the thing that
sets it off. Okay.
So
just trying to wrap my head around the science here.
It's just so deep.
It's so complex. Yeah.
And so he gets to the gas station.
Right.
Where our friend works. And he runs up and he's like, I need a phone. It's life or death. Inside, we see on the clock, it's 9:00. There's a TV on. Happy Halloween, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. So he's on the phone and he just is yelling. He's like, if it goes on, there's going to be death of millions of people. Everyone who's watching, don't you understand that? And he's like, say it's a bomb, then I don't know. Say whatever you like. Just get it off the air. And some kids in some Silver Shamrock masks come up now, like to get candy from the gas attendant guy. And the fucking commercial's still playing the whole time. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. And he's like, no, I can't prove it. You got to believe me. Take it off the air. And the kids walk up to the TV. And at that moment, it cuts out. And it's like, please excuse the interruption. We're having some technical difficulties. Please stand by. And the kid changes the channel. Happy Halloween, Halloween. It's time. That cuts out. Please excuse, we're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. The kid changes the channel again. Gather round. Beep, boop, 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 boop, boop. And Thomas Jeanine is just like, the third channel, it's still running on the third channel. Please stop it. There's no more time. And the pumpkin starts flashing. Beep, boop, 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 boop. And he's like, you got to stop it. Turn it off. Stop it. And it's like a close up on his face. The end.
That's it? Where's Michael? Where's Michael? Hello? Michael? Ma'am? What is...
So that's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Ketrin.
But... why... Okay.
They were trying a thing. Yeah. And that's why I think I remembered this movie as being in the Leprechaun franchise.
Well, yeah.
Not as Halloween 3. Like, as soon as the commercial started playing in the very beginning, I was like, wait a minute. I've seen this before.
This is very strange. This is very, very strange. Also, why... I don't know how I feel about ancient witchcraft being mixed with laser technology. I like my witchcraft pure. I
mean, it's a new age. It's a new dawn, Ketrin.
I guess. And so, like, they just wanted to sacrifice millions of children? I just feel like
I think so, yeah.
I just feel like their objective wasn't, like, 100% clear to me the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
something about
like,
the planets
what's your
or
fucking
whatever.
end game? How many points did I get?
Let's find out.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Kat.
And Kim.
And we just want to let you know about our brand new Patreon we just launched. You can find us at www.kimandkatstayalive.com.
And you'll also find merch on there. Check out our merch store and follow us on social media at kksampodcast. We love you. Bye. Okay.
All right.
Out of 20 points, you got 15 points.
Wow.
You did a good job.
Thank you. How'd I do on my deads or alivesies?
Fucking 5 out of 6. You're a cunt.
I know. Also, but where's Michael? Like, I'm just so confused. I just am so confused by the meetings about this movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, what were the meetings?
I think there's a lot of information out there for you if you'd like to find it.
Okay. Yeah.
I think people will tell you a lot of information about that.
Okay. Can you find some information for me?
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm...
But no, it's like a note that like this is the one movie that he's like not in, and they were like trying to do a different thing. Like I forget the reason.
Because I remember Eric telling
Mackenzie
me...
Parker will tell us all of it.
Yeah.
He told us. I think he told me a bunch of it before.
But I remember Eric telling me like, Michael Myers isn't even in Halloween 3. I thought that was like hyperbole. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like he's like barely there. That he's like may as well not even be in it.
Yes.
But it's still
thought.
like his tale.
Especially because it was like
his world.
Because it was like, because Eric was like, yeah, it's about masks haunting people. I was like, obviously like a Michael Myers mask.
Right.
That's what, like that was, nope, he's just not in it.
No, they were trying a thing.
Cool. Hey, you know what? You got to respect people for trying a thing.
Yeah.
Well, that was
the...
How great was Thomas Jeanine, though?
Thomas Jeanine.
He's fucking great.
I got that one scene still in my mind.
Oh, with
Thomas Jeanine.
Yeah. I mean...
Thomas Jeanine Smith. Sir Thomas Jeanine Smith.
Thomas Jeanine Smith. And Lady Coroner. Fuck me. Okay.
Is there other things?
I don't think so. Listen to us on the Podbelly Network and also follow us on the social media.
kksampodcast. Please give us a rate review. Please give us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
We're so close to like 100 reviews, so it'd be really awesome if you told your friends and your mom.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to put a call to action out there. Tell everyone you know about Kim and Kat Stay Alive, maybe.
Please.
You know, like, even if you're like, I don't know if this is their jam, tell them anyway. You don't know.
Try.
Maybe it is their jam. Maybe we're their peanut butter and jam. You don't know. But yeah, follow us on social medias. Go look at our Patreon. We got some BoneCon and, happy Silver Shamrock Day.
Yes. This has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
stay alive.
Stay alive.
Goodbye.
Two more weeks till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 2 more weeks till Halloween. KK Sampod.